Beautiful good now. Today I will speak about abundance and money and how can you make them flow easily into your life. Abundance is a state of being, and it is your nature state of being. It is the nature state of God, of love. In love, there is always abundance. You also have the essence of God within you, and you are constantly connected to this abundance in which you can live and from which you can create. Abundance naturally arises when you let go of that which blocks it. You create your reality from within. The world reflects how you feel inside, who you believe you are. The immense power and energy that created the entire universe is within you. Whether you live in abundance or scarcity is up to you, your beliefs, thoughts, attention, and state of being. There is no external force that can separate you from abundance unless you give it that power yourself. If you are living in fear of money or scarcity, it is because you are holding some beliefs that resonate with the energy of scarcity. You have inside of you a creative energy that is unlimited. It is the same energy that you find in nature, which is the embodiment of this creative, ever-evolving and renewing principle. If you forget that the world reflects our inner state, and that our nature state is unlimited abundance, your feelings and self-concept start to depend on the outer form. You can feel rich when you have certain amount of money, which is such a symbol of abundance. It is the other way around. Once you find the feeling of abundance and wealth within yourself, letting go of the negative beliefs associated with them, that abundance will begin to flow into your life in various forms, one of which is money. Nothing from the material world will bring this feeling to you. When I have million in my bank account, I will finally relax and enjoy myself. If you have a strong will, maybe you will get there, but it still won't seem enough to keep you calm, and you will live in fear of losing it. Many winners of fabulous sums have also ended up miserable because the measure of wealth they came to didn't match the inner abundance. If you think you are going to start feeling and behaving differently when you reach your dream bank balance or whatever, you are wrong. You will feel and behave exactly the same as you do now, with what you have now. However, you can change your internal setup at any moment, no matter where you are. And your world will change too. The more abundance you feel and perceive, the more it will come to you, easily and harmoniously, unless you decide to believe that it must be hard. Abundance means having what I need at every moment to feel good, to be physically and mentally well, and to do what I want. Everyone is different, has own preferences and intentions. Therefore, don't compare your abundance with others, only follow your inner feeling. Everyone has a different dream of life. Some people want to promote change on a global level and start or support a lot of groundbreaking projects. Others are happiest when they can quietly herd sheep in the mountains. But both are equally important, and for both, abundance will take a different form. In order to experience the joyful abundance that comes from the heart, you will have to let go of many of the concepts that current society operates under. Unfortunately, many people live in a state of a kind of slavery. They have become slaves to fear, fear for the future, fear for the security. They have let their minds be programmed as to how they should live, what they should possess. Modern society has created a kind of artificial world in which the joy, the beauty, and the experience of life have been lost, in which many people resign themselves to their dreams and merely survive rather than live. It doesn't mean that everything material, man-made, is bad. We are here to know ourselves as God, creative energy. We find the greatest pleasure in being and creating in harmony with ourselves, with all others, and with nature. In the end, it is not about what you own, but what is available to you to enjoy life. Think about which moments make you feel really happy and feel life inside you. What do you really need in order to experience these moments? Realize that it's not just material things, but also relationships, opportunities, time. Know what abundance means to you. Ask your heart. You may be surprised what it will tell you. But here you can be sure that abundance created from the heart is always in harmony with all beings and nature. Money is ideally a means of exchange and cooperation. It is a form of abundant energy that allows you to live and create and also gives you a certain amount of freedom. It is by no means the only form of abundance. If you were alone on a desert island, a pile of money would not bring you much happiness and you would soon perish. However, in most places on earth these days, you simply need a certain amount of money. And there are certain principles that will allow you to live in abundance, whether it takes the form of money or anything else. Everything is a form of energy. Even money is a form of divine energy if you look at it and use it that way. You have access to an unlimited source of energy, and that source is within you. When you realize this fact, you will free yourself from dependence on external sources. Abundant consciousness, this state of being, will always draw to you what you need. It is not your work, your savings, your investments that are the source of your wealth. It is yourself, your consciousness. Your work is only one of the channels through which the resources come to you. But if you know that the real source is your consciousness, even if one channel dries up or disappears, you know that another will appear. You need to trust in life, which is another word for God and yourself. It may seem to you that your life so far has not given you much reason to have that confidence. You probably haven't known and used the following laws that create your entire reality, including abundance and money. These are valid, whether you know about them or not. Trust in general is very important, and it is also necessary to first create it within yourself, not wait for something to give you a reason to trust. Life, the universe, God, always takes care of us and gives us an abundance of all good things. But you can create reality in which you are seemingly not taken care of, and you will live in scarcity. It's up to your internal setup and belief. So trust in life. Find this feeling inside of you. For example, it has been great for me lately when I feel restless or I remember to completely relax, smile, and say to myself, I am like in a cotton wool or in a blanket. You know, that feeling when the baby is wrapped in a blanket and resting peacefully because everything is taken care of. That's how you can feel in your own life, like a baby that is comfortably wrapped in a blanket. Whenever you remember this feeling, the restlessness goes away, and that's essential. Next, start noticing all the beliefs you have about abundance, wealth, and money. The easiest thing to do is to observe how you think about money, how you talk about it. How do you feel when you hold it in your hand, when you pay with it or receive it? Is there an energy of joy or some other energy? It's hard to attract money if you're convinced that it's bad or that there's not enough of it. Money and the economic system are not bad in themselves. They should just be there for us as something that helps us and connects us. Money can be used in many wonderful ways to bring so much joy to you and others. You can write the negative beliefs on a piece of paper. Ask yourself if it's useful to you, and if not, write another one, more favorable option next to it. But what will start the real change is your everyday life. Become aware of how you think, how you speak, how you act, how you feel when you are in contact with different manifestations of abundance and with money, and go on a strict mental diet. And this is where the hardest work comes in. I say hardest because it is often really the hardest thing for us to change habitual and learned ways of thinking and acting. To stop complaining, saying habitual stereotypes, secretly envying those who have more, and covering it up by trying to find something wrong with them and their lives. Replace thoughts of worry, of concern, with thoughts of confidence and joyful anticipation. Don't look for problems and complications, and instead find goodness and beauty. It is possible. You just need to be determined, put some energy in, at least at the beginning, and not be discouraged by failure. If you start applying the following principles, the first successes will probably come very soon. But some things will change more slowly or not at all. Or something seemingly unfavorably will happen, or your mood and confidence will drop. Think of these as relicts from the past, just leftover reflections of your past beliefs and an opportunity for growth. Persevere, and gradually you will see your reality change more and more according to your new beliefs, which will begin to take hold until they are completely natural to you. God, life, always loves you, but he, she, it also knows that you want to grow and know who you are in truth. Sometimes even seemingly adverse circumstances or conditions will help you to do this. But when you realize their true purpose, which is to help you be more yourself, you soon get back on your improved boat and sail on. Start seeing money and abundance itself as a blessing. Think of it as a friend. You can even talk to them, welcome them, bless them. Start to really like them. Think of them as energy that is always abundant and always available to you. Don't be sad when they leave you. On the contrary, when you pay something or give something to someone, give them your blessings and intention that they may bring much good. When you receive money, rejoice. Money is energy, you are the channel. The bigger the channel, the more can flow through it. It is of course okay to want to have some savings or to accumulate a larger amount for something you need or want. It is the energy of trust, security, stability, let's say a healthy grounding. develop these energies within you, and the connected part of your life will begin to reflect these qualities as well. Don't try to hold on to money or hoard it out of fear. Realize that you don't live for money, it should help you live. Use it in a way that brings joy to you and those around you. When you are in the energy of joy, peace, you are more yourself, and another quality of your essence is abundance. So it has to manifest. Don't be afraid to give to others and to yourself, not out of obligation, but because it pleases you. All that you give without fear and in joy will come back to you multiplied. Invest also in yourself, in your growth, and in what fulfills you. Don't wait until you reach some amount of money. When or if I were millionaire, I would go on vacation, learn this and that, support a non-profit, abandon children or animals. Don't wait until you are millionaire. Start now with what you have, to the extent that it is possible for you. Because your behavior won't change when you reach that million, unless you realize that the source of that wealth is within you. Focus more on what you want to use the money for than on the money itself. It is the feeling you get when you own an item or have an experience that makes what you wish for materialize, so to speak. And it's much easier to connect with the feeling of relaxing in a beautiful house, walking on the beach on vacation, wearing beautiful clothes, making your products, than it is with the feeling of having, let's say, 100,000 in your bank account. Every day, preferably at bedtime or while resting, imagine that you have what you want, are doing what you would like to do. Imagine it from your own perspective and engage your senses, what you see, what you hear, what it feels like to touch, how it feels. And then keep trusting that it is on its way and will come in the best and easiest way. Sometimes in the form of money, sometimes in another way. Of course, there are other techniques that can help you materialize your wishes or abundance, but they are all about helping you build new self-concept. Because it is first and foremost who you are, who you believe you are, who you feel you are, that creates your reality. You want to be a person who lives in abundance, who is always at peace, who has thriving business, enough time for yourself, for friends, for rest, for creation. This variant of you exists in the space of variance. One could say that it is a kind of parallel reality. You move into it when you begin to connect with the self that lives this reality. Become aware of the story you have created about yourself and money and abundance, and start telling and living a different story. Live your daily life as much as possible as an abundant person. In the physical world, behave accordingly to your momentary abilities, but inside, always be in a state of unlimited abundance. Get out of bed with the feeling that you don't have to worry about anything. Everything is taken care of. What you need will always come at the right time. Walk down the street, pay at the store, feeling like a rich man or woman. When you come across something you wish or need, but your present situation doesn't allow you to have it, drive away thoughts of lack. Calmly realize that this is something I wish or need, and connect within yourself with this thing or experience. Begin to imagine what it will be like when you have it or experience it. Then give thanks, knowing that this experience in its physical form is already ready for you, on its way to you, and you will step into it at the best moment. Live in a state of abundance. Stop focusing on what you don't have with feelings and thoughts of scarcity. What you focus on will grow in your life. You will see more and more of it. If you desire something, you better focus on what it will be like when you have it, who you will be. And first and foremost, transform your self-concept, your thinking, your behavior to be in alignment with that self. Also change the direction of your thought about all that you lack. Start noticing, realizing, and above all, appreciating what you have and who you are. Gratitude is one of the most powerful magical energies that will draw all good things to you. Some people prefer to use the term appreciation. Celebrate every manifestation of abundance in your life and in the life of others. Intentionally seek them out. Every little thing someone gives you or you find, every seemingly auspicious coincidence, even the things you take for granted. Sunshine, the air you breathe, a loved one, a roof above your head, a piece of food on your plate. We can all see so much to appreciate in life. If you encounter something seemingly unfavorable, tell yourself there is something good in this too. I just can't see it right now, but I'm sure it will turn into something wonderful. It's all working for my good and everyone else's. Don't hope, know that it will, that it is this way. Keep your main focus on your inner source, on the energy you are in, not on the reflections in the outer world. Try to stay in the highest vibration. That means in your best self. Make that priority. If you start doing anything in a low mental state, the results will be similar to your state. The most important thing is to get back to your calm, cool, balanced, centered self. You can help yourself by meditating, breathing, walking, music, pleasant activity, reading an excerpt from an encouraging book. And then do whatever is needed or you feel inspired to do at the time. Of course, I'm talking about those normal swings of mood. If you have more serious problems or a traumatic event happens, you may need something else. But even in those cases, the primary thing is to return to your center and peace. Realize that you must become the master of your mind. You cannot let it dominate you. Normally, we are only aware of some of our thoughts, most of them running in the background when we are engaged in some activity. It is a kind of atmosphere of your mind. It comes from your self-concept. If we want to change it, it needs to be continually steered in a new direction, at least for a while, until the connections are permanently severed and the new self-concept becomes a nature part of us. It's like when you have a navigation in your car and you save your address where you live under the password home. Then you move, but when you turn the navigation back on and enter your home password, it takes you to the old address that's stored there. You have to change the address to the new one. When you start applying these principles in your life, it is certain that it will start transforming. Most important of all, however, is to persevere. Your current reality reflects your past thoughts and who you think you are now. The change in self-concept is gradual for most people, which is why change happens gradually. Often we don't even see the shifts. You need to know, to affirm that something is going on in the background, and at some point the change will become fully manifest. You need to rewire the connections in your mind, and that takes some persistence. Reality is like a kind of canvas on which you project your thoughts and basically yourself. When you start changing the broadcast, reality can still play the old programs, the original stories for a while. Then they start to overlap, and if you persist enough, the new reality will completely replace the old one. Something comes up almost immediately. These are usually areas where you don't have much subconscious resistance in you. Areas that are saturated with a lot of negative beliefs, stories, thoughts will change more slowly. Think of it as being shown where you still need to let go or change the way you think about that area or yourself. Occasionally, an old program materializes. The universe wants to make sure that you don't want to play it anymore. What about this one? You used to want that, you always caught on to that. Should I really throw it away? If, despite the adversity, you don't fall into same thought patterns and the old story, don't let it throw you off, and you will get even more grounded in the new concept. That's when the biggest transformation comes. As they say, the greatest darkness is before the dawn. So I wish you that the sun comes up soon and you catch a good wave of abundance.